get all the prep. Oh, we're recording.
There we go. All right. Hey guys, welcome to our what is coaching info session. My name is Melissa Galamay and I'm one of your hosts tonight, and we are so excited to share a little bit about our stories before we kick into this. So I'm going to introduce you to my dear friend Abby and just let her share her story, and then she'll kick it back to me.
Yeah, we are so excited, like Melissa said, just to share. And I feel like our stories are really similar, but there's also differences. And I don't know where you guys are at, but I remember actually legitimately creeping on my coach for 3 months, Instagram stalking her. I barely used social media, but I did like to creep on my friends. And I was so intrigued at what she was doing, but honestly, really nervous to reach out. I actually didn't even get on one of these sneak peek calls. And honestly, it would have been so helpful because I would have been able to get all my questions answered. But I did end up signing up as a coach. I was someone who was in a challenge group for about a year or so. If you've done the 21-day fix, that was me with the DVDs postpartum. So grateful for the gal who invited me to do that. And I was working full time. My husband was in paramedic school and a firefighter. My son was one, or actually when I started all this, he was a baby. And I was working full time as an assistant director of admissions at a top university here out in Oregon. And while I loved my job, I absolutely loved my career. It's what my master's was for. My son did not thrive in daycare. I cried every day I dropped him off. I felt like I was failing as a mom, and I felt guilty for wanting to work and loving my career. And it just felt like I was in this really place that felt stuck. We were living paycheck to paycheck, and it just felt like, you know what, even though I love my job, this isn't what I want the next 18 years of my life to look like. And so while that whole season was going on, in the background, I was doing 21-day fix and getting great results and just kind of rocking my fitness journey postpartum. And I stumbled onto this gal who was sharing stuff on Instagram, and she was sharing her fitness journey. She was doing the same workouts that I was doing. She was talking about how she was helping other women, and she was building a business at home around her boys. And I was like, that is what I want. So after being scared and creeping on her for 3 months, I finally worked up the nerve to tell my husband, and he was like, Abby, why don't you? Like, worst case scenario, you're going to get a discount on what you're already using. Best case scenario, he's like, there's really no limit to what is possible in this business. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But thankfully I had his full backing. And so I started as a coach and didn't know what I was doing. And we'll talk about training and all of that you expand, but I just trusted her. And if she said jump, I jumped. And this has turned into be the most beautiful business. 2.5 years after starting as a coach, while working full time, going through a pregnancy with my daughter and life hitting like all of us have, I was actually able to surpass my full-time income and come home and do this full-time. And so now the last 3 years, I've built this from home around my kiddos who are 7 and 3. We homeschool before COVID hit, we were even homeschooling. So we're crazy like that. And I'm just so grateful every single day, truly to have the gift of this business, the blessing of this business, to have the freedom to create the education that we wanted for our kids, to take my family, we got to take them to Disney World this last December, to really have an outlet outside of motherhood for myself where I can thrive, where I can be poured into and recognized and help others, and selfishly just get some pretty awesome results in my own health and fitness journey. Coaching has transformed me. I'm an introvert. I'm from a very small town. I did not do social media. And the girl that you see today is not the same girl that I was 5 years ago. And I'm so grateful for that, because this business has completely transformed every aspect of my life, not just the financial side or the fitness side, but so many more. And so we're excited to share more of that with you. And I'll let Melissa give her little story as well, because it's amazing.
Yeah, so you'll probably hear a lot of parallels in Abby and mine's story. And one of the things that I love about this business is while we are wildly diverse and we are located all over the map, so it doesn't matter where your zip code is, we seem to find our people. And I was a mom of 2. I was working full time for someone else. I had 14 people who reported directly to me. I had a 3-hour round trip commute. And my thought on healthy food was anything that was labeled diet. I had pretty much tried every quick fix under the sun. And from a very young age, I had struggled with body image issues and abusing drugs and substances to stimulate my weight to try to take control over it. And so as a mom, I put on a lot of weight, and I didn't know how to take care of myself. And so in 2012, I stumbled upon a stranger on social media. I don't really know how we connected, but um, I literally would go every single day and I would look for her post because she was sharing very raw and vulnerable and open. And it wasn't like other people I saw on social media, even though she had these great posts, nothing was perfect. And it wasn't like she made me, for the first time, someone made me feel like I could take my mess and turn it into a message to help other people. And I sat on the sidelines and watched for 13 months before I did anything. And in that time, I saw other moms like her who were walking away from their full-time income, some earning six figures, which just was like mind-blowing to me, to be home with their children. And I used to say I never wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, that I thought people who stayed home with their kids were absolutely crazy. And here I am, joined the crazy crew. But I knew that I needed something else in my life, and I didn't know what that was. Like I felt like there was this calling on my life, and I didn't know how to make any sort of transformation in addition to wanting to lose weight. And so after watching for 13 months, I made the decision to jump in. I told her not to ask me to really work this business because I didn't feel like I had any time. But if that ever became something I wanted to do, I would let her know. And the cool thing about it was there was no pressure. I didn't feel like I had to do anything that was outside of my comfort zone. But I'll tell you, in that first week, I lost 6 pounds and inches all over my body. And I felt really good, and my confidence started to increase. And I was in this community online where there was people who I did not know at all, but they were rooting for me and they were cheering me on. And I was like, holy smokes, everyone needs to do this. And so authentically, I just started sharing with my friends and my family and started to build a team of my own, which then has allowed me to build this incredible team filled with people all over the United States, um, that have become an extension of my family. And it's just been one of the biggest blessings in my life. And like Abby, I have been able to come home to my children. We now have 3 children. And I really think it was when I got pregnant with my daughter. I had just started this business and I knew I had a decision. And for me, I didn't want to have to keep sending my kids to daycare when they were sick. I didn't want to miss out on my daughter's first steps or her first words. I didn't want to have to drop her off for someone else to care for. It was heart-wrenching to me as a mom to tell my kids no, I couldn't work in their class because mom had to work and it felt like everyone else's mom got to. And when you have your 5-year-old son, crying that you're not going to be at his class party, like that was like the worst for me. And so I've been home for 5 years now, and it has truly been the biggest blessing. And I'm sure all of you guys feel this. Nobody could have anticipated the shift in the nation in 2020. And the fact that I didn't have to call in or try to scatter and figure out daycare or go without income during the pandemic was a game changer for me. So we're going to give you all the info, hopefully debunk some of the myths that you've heard, and really just speak authentically so that you guys understand that there's nothing that Abby and I do in this business that you can't do yourself. We simply saw what someone else did and said, why not me? And so I ask that you come into this call with an open heart and an open mind and get excited about the possibility that could be for you. And if you find that it's not, that's okay too. But maybe you hear something in here and you want to send it to somebody else. Maybe it does resonate with you and you just lean into that tug that's on your heart and that whisper that won't let go, and just try this, because we truly believe that you do belong here. And we are absolutely ecstatic that you are here. I believe that it is so much more than fitness. That is the foundation of our business. But for me personally, it's changed everything. My financial situation, my mental health, my emotional health, my relationship with food, how I serve and lead my family, as well as the people that I get to work with every single day. I've made some of my best friends on the internet, which is really cool. So we're going to get right into the meat and potatoes of this call.
Yeah, and exactly what she said, there's room for you. And one thing that's kind of neat is Melissa and I are actually not on the same team. We're not a part of anything, but we've been able to connect, and there's so much room for every personality. I think on our team, we have gals from literally every type of career and, introvert, extrovert, everything. So it's not a one size fits all thing. Coaching is for anybody. I really believe that anybody can do this if they really, really want to. So let's kind of talk first of all, what do coaches do? I think that sometimes the title coach, for whatever reason, can be a little bit intimidating to people because you're like, oh my gosh, do I have to be like a fitness professional? And I always tell people, like, girlfriend, coach is just because we're a part of a health and fitness company. So it's a title that fits well. But really, as a coach, you get to be like their fit wing girl, their fit best friend, and really just lead from your example. We have the most amazing tools. We have incredible trainers, incredible nutritionists. Beachbody has really been at the forefront of at-home fitness since the 1990s. We've been around for a long time, and people know us, Tony Horton, Shaun T, Autumn Calabrese, people know our programs. And now, even more than ever, having at-home options is really helpful. So while there are absolutely incredible coaches who are personal trainers, nutritionists, we have those people, and you guys can take this and make it even better. You can serve your clients in new ways. For people who might come from a background like myself or Melissa, or maybe you, if you're like, I'm just normal, that's perfect. So what a coach does is, first of all, you get your own results. We both have mentioned we got our best results physically after becoming a coach, because really when you have other people looking up to you, imperfection is required, right? No one's asking you to be perfect, but it really does help you level up in your own game. It helps you level up with your consistency with your workouts. It helps you dial in your nutrition a little bit more. And so really you just work on being your best self. That's the first thing, is committing to a fitness program, dialing in your nutrition, using the products that we offer. Also, personal development is a really, really big one for us in terms of working on our mindset and our heart and growth. So just becoming your best self. And then you're going to share that with other people. And this can be scary. Both Melissa and I didn't come from like a social media background. So I'm here to tell you that if this is a concern, and we'll get into it a little bit more later too, it can be overcome. Personally, even though I was this close to deleting Facebook when I started, I'm so grateful for the platform that I have to share about the things that are important to me, to share about my faith, to be an enlightenment and encouragement, to be able to have some fun. It's just become the best. So you're just going to share your journey a little bit more publicly, and then connect with women, share those same tools with them, plug them into your challenge group, accountability group, boot camp, fit camp, whatever you want to call it. And as a new coach, most likely you'll be working with your coach. So you don't have to necessarily lead everything on your own at first, but you're going to plug in your people and help them get the same results that you do. Wash, rinse, repeat. It's super, super easy. So that's kind of the gist of what we do as coaches. And I think you're going to flip the screen. There we go. Do you want me to take this one, or do you want to do it? I'll do it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. We're so together, guys. We're on top of this. So one of the things too that I think is really important, and she's pulling it up, is there is the opportunity for compensation. So as a coach, you can literally just be what we call a discount coach or preferred customer. You can get our 25% discount, love your products, and just go on your merry way. You can do this kind of part-time. You can kind of just be like, I love it. And every so often, maybe your mom or a friend from work wants to jump in. You can plug them into what's going on with your team and get the commission. And that's awesome too. But one thing where I started, and I know Melissa, is I told myself I was going to be a part-time coach, and a weekend was like, no, I'm in love. This is for me. And I saw the potential very, very quickly. So this is really our goal as you are getting started. If you're like, I want to build a business, I want to help women, I want to help people, I want to level up, and I really want to grow an income to bring my kids home from daycare also, or pay off down some student debts, or save for a vacation, or whatever that is for you. This is kind of a bird's eye look at what that would look like in terms of our bare minimum goals for your success as a new coach. There are no requirements. You do not have to keep Shakeology in your garage and send it out. There's no sales quotas that you have to meet. You're not going to be kicked out, and there's no, you're not locked in as a coach. So you can actually cancel at any point. So there's literally you're not locked into anything. But there are some benchmarks that if you tell us, hey, I want to come in and I really want to earn an income, we're going to tell you, perfect. Your goal is going to be to help 3 people a month. That's your goal at a minimum, because you said you wanted to help people, and this completely covers your product. And then as you can see with this breakdown here, it really starts to compound. And so sitting here and kind of think about where you're at right now with your family and what would it look like to commit about an hour a day of your time. We'll talk about what that looks like in a little bit here, but what would it look like to commit an hour a day and have that turn into $800 or more? And there's no guarantee of success, right? We're not going to tell you you're going to sign up and earn $800, but this is the way our training is set up, is for you to be able to do this at a minimum if you tell us that you're serious. And again, it's not being spammy, it's not being salesy. We've all had those horrible messages come into our inbox or seen the awkward posts. That is not what we want you to do. But it is about helping people, and there's nothing wrong with making an income that is making an impact. And I think it's important to know that that is very possible with this business. This also, before we move on, this business is one that is not front loaded. And what I mean by that is you will see some other network marketing companies that really front load their compensation plan. But with the car and all that stuff, like right away. And one thing I really appreciate about Beachbody is they don't do that. You get paid, we get 25% commission on everything, but there is a bonus structure that really starts to move into a full-time income as you are capable and ready for it. And so know that there is so much more than just this as your business really grows, and we are here to mentor you to help you do that.
So part of the reason I needed Abby to do this was I could not get myself unmuted. So I'm going to echo what Abby said, is you do not have to have it all together. We basically fly by the seat of our pants most days. We do have a schedule and have, failed our way forward a whole freaking lot, but we promise we could, if we can do it, so can you. And we hope that that makes you feel really incredibly normal, that some of the things that might come up as reasons why you don't think, I'm going to cover those and hopefully debunk the myths and the stories that you tell yourself. So we know you want to get started, but maybe some of the things that you're telling yourself is, number one, I don't want to be salesy. So guys, we don't either. That is never our intention. Our intention is to connect you with a solution to help you transform and get healthy from the inside out. Whatever you are making an investment into is yours. We're not asking you to go out and try to pitch a sale or throw at-home parties or, fill up your entire cupboards or garage with things and hope that they sell. We literally want you to build relationships and connect with other people who are like you, who are seeking more, who want to have a transformation. And it can be multiple, just like Abby said, Abby and I said, physical, emotional, financial, mental, spiritual. So we promise you, we don't want you to be salesy either. The next one is, I'm not at my fitness goal. I'm going to give you guys a really bold truth, is I'm not at my fitness goal either, right? I have been leaner than this and I have been heavier than this. But the cool thing about this is you don't have to look a certain way. And like Abby said, we do have people in the company who they are at their fitness goal, or they've never changed and they've just built muscle, or they have a six pack. We have people who would be considered plus size. So this is not a one size fits all business, and we truly think that this is a transformation of your mind. And even though sometimes the scale doesn't budge, that is not what we are depending on. So please don't let that stop you, because we were absolutely not at our fitness goals when we got started. And I'm personally not at my fitness goal today. So don't let that be the reason that you tell yourself you can't do this. The next one is, I don't have a lot of time. Guys, again, I can so relate to this one. As I told you in the beginning, when I first got started, I had 2 small children. I worked full time, sometimes, between 45 and 55, sometimes 60 hours a week. I had a 3-hour commute round trip. I had people who reported to me, so my phone was always ringing. We have college students, we have stay-at-home moms, we have CEOs, we have people who own brick and mortars. You get to do this in the pockets of time that works for you. So we understand that time commitment is a concern, but we promise you, don't let that be a reason why you don't get started either. Because if it's just like anything, if you want it, you will figure it out. Okay. The next one is, who am I to motivate? I don't know about you, but I've absolutely told myself that as well. Abby and I were just having a conversation about something else right before this, right? I recently started a podcast as well with one of my girlfriends. And one of the thoughts before we published it and sent it to iTunes was, is this going to inspire anyone? Do I have anything to serve? And so that will be a big barrier for a lot of people. I promise you that you have a story in you that is going to shape someone else. And I always tell my coaches as they get started, if you feel like you have, had a transformation with this, or you connect to the products and you're invested in it, it's your responsibility to go out and share that with people. I promise you, you will inspire someone if you go out and share this, but you have to be open to that. The next one is, it's too expensive. And this is probably the top objection of why people want to get started. And I absolutely understand, having small children and being a sports family, times get really tight, right? This business has given me the freedom to understand that this is an investment into my health. What I did when I first got started was I went back to my bank account and I looked at how many times I had spent more than $200 in the last 3 months. And what I noticed was I was spending well more than that on going and getting drinks when I used to drink, or stopping and shopping, or hitting up Amazon for things that I didn't necessarily need. So it's really about budgeting and figuring out how can you afford it, because if, again, it goes back to the time thing. If you want it, you'll figure it out, promise you. Next thing is, I don't have spouse support. So I have a story. There's many coaches in the network that can relate to this, but one of our top coaches in the network, her husband was absolutely not supportive of this at all. He told her that if she wanted to do this, to go out and get a job, because she wasn't going to waste her money sitting on the computer all day. And now she is one of the top coaches in the company. She's one of the top earners in the company. She has brought her husband home, which is a lot of the story for a lot of people. So I just wanted to share that so you understand that that is a concern of a lot of people. But one thing I've found that is very helpful is communicating your goals with your spouse. And so when you're making this investment, have it be a partnership. Have it be something that you guys communicate well together, and explain to them why you're wanting to do it. Because when you can put that emotional why behind it, people are more likely to get on board, especially your spouse. A lot of the times, if you can just communicate why this is important, they just want you to be happy, right? So don't let that hold you back. Sometimes it's just about that communication piece. Next one is, I don't have a big following. And Abby kind of already addressed this. Neither one of us had a large social media following. And so the cool thing about this is you get to connect with people through social media, and you can grow that. And we will, in our trainings, we teach you how to do that. And then the other one is, isn't it a pyramid scheme though? Guys, if you feel like that and you're watching this, I want to challenge you to go and research what a pyramid scheme is, because those are illegal. Pyramid schemes are when the top person is the only one really compensated and you're doing all the work. That is not what this is. The cool thing is you could come in and you could outdo anything Abby and I ever did, right? So this is your business, you're the CEO of it, and you get to make it whatever you do. So it absolutely is not a pyramid scheme. Okay, so what now? We want to talk to you about your best options, why to get started right now, why we think that this month would be a perfect time for you to make this investment into you, and what your next steps are.
Yeah, so basically, one of the things that I will tell you guys, and you heard from both Melissa and I, we both creeped on our coaches for a long time. And honestly, looking back, my biggest regret is not starting sooner, because there is a little bit of a learning curve, and it's not massive, but the sooner you just start taking action, the more success you're going to have in every area. And so I would encourage you, have the conversations you need to. If you have more questions, reach out, but definitely don't just let your fear paralyze you into making an impact on people's lives and into starting to do this for yourself. So there's a few different ways that you can get started. I will say, first of all, now is the best time to get started for the reason I just said, right? The best time to get started was yesterday. The second best time is today. But with everything going on in the world, if 2020 and now apparently 2021 has taught us anything, it's just how uncertain everything is. And for our family, especially having a secondary stream of income has been, well, it's my main income now, but like been massive for us. Having at-home fitness, if you're on the West Coast or any other state that's shut down, is really important. So being able to have options that help other people is huge right now. And right now also is when a lot of major fitness programs are just getting started. We just launched this program that's up here on the screen right now, 9-week Control Freak. It is blowing everything out of the water. I am headed into week 3. I have abs I didn't know I had before. It's really exciting. Sore every day in the best ways. And the girls in my group are loving it. And so it's a really fun time. Beachbody has always been, like I mentioned, the leader in at-home fitness, and they're constantly innovating and coming out with really amazing programs. We have bar, we have boot camp style, we have lifting style, we have Shanti with the classic cardio. I mean, there's a little bit of everything, but for getting started, there's a few different options. So if you are already a coach or a discount coach on our team, and you're just kind of like, I did sign up with the coach discount, just connect with us and we will get you plugged in to our new coach mentorship. So that's step 1. If you have already purchased a challenge pack, you would know if you had or not, you can actually get your $40 coach sign-up fee reimbursed. So you sign up as a coach, you can get that fee reimbursed within 2 weeks and just jump right into our mentorship as well. Or if you're brand new, then you need to get set up with all of your tools. And what I love is that you are only, like Melissa said, your only investment is in yourself. So you're not paying for kits to take on the road. If I had to do a house party, I would never do this business because that sounds like pure torture to me. So you're just literally paying for your own tools that you're going to use for the year. So you get your year of Beachbody on demand, you get all the tools that come with it, you get your 2 full nutrition programs, you have lifetime access to those that are usually $75 each. You also get a 30-day supply of Shakeology and or the Performance line. I'm obsessed with all of them and use all of them, and we can have a whole separate call about that, but it's really the best bang for your buck. And then your $40 coaching sign-up fee is waived. So you get everything included. As a coach, the only reoccurring fee that you have in this business is a $15.95 business services fee. If you are a military family, if you are the wife or husband of a vet or a current active duty member, that actually is waived for you. And all that is that covers our back office support. And so we have a virtual office. They have marketing materials. They're able to track all your income stuff. There's training materials. Like I mentioned, we're not sending stuff out to people. So it covers all of that 24/7 tech support, customer service. It's really helpful as a business owner to be able to have all of that and not have to run any of it. Honestly, it's a huge, huge blessing. And so even if you're someone who just wants kind of that 25% coach discount and you're not really planning on running the business, that $15 fee is still worth it. You actually still come out ahead if you're ordering regularly. So one of the biggest things I see with this business is, it's a $200 investment that can turn into 6 and 7 figures, quite honestly, in just a couple years. We're not going to promise you, it's not a get rich quick scheme, but Melissa and I have both seen this play out in our lives as very hot mess, full-time working moms of young kids. Like we run this business in literally between 30 minutes to 3 hours a day, depending on the day. And as new coaches, what we're asking of you is to commit about an hour a day. It doesn't have to be solid, but little pockets of time. That's all that it takes. So to think of, what could this $200 investment turn into? What could this do for our family is really, really powerful. And so those are kind of your options. And if you have questions on them, we have some other ones, but these are the ones that we recommend, and definitely jumping in because we'll have our new coach mentorship kicking off soon.
Oh, all right, guys. So now is time to really think about what could this do for you? What would be possible if you took those fears and doubts and pushed them to the side and decided to link arms with us? And Abby just mentioned it, but we have decided to start collaborating this year on a really amazing mentorship. So not only are you getting the coach that you sign up with, but you're getting 2 different, completely different perspectives and all the tools for you to be successful. The cool thing is, like we've mentioned several times, this can be anything that you want it to be. just because Abby and I have decided that we wanted to come home to our kids and it's afforded us, by replacing our full-time incomes, that it doesn't have to be that for you. If you simply want to be here for the community and our amazing transforming workout programs, we're going to support you in that. But if you decide that you want something more, that maybe you want to build a side business, or you want to completely replace your income, or you want to become the top coach of this company, the coolest thing is that you have this gift. And Abby and I both are, we build our businesses rooted in faith. And so we do lead with that. I don't think that you have any downfall in doing this. I see so many people who hesitate in getting started simply because a lot of the things that we addressed before. But if you never know, you'll never try. And chances are, if you're watching this or you're streaming this replay, it's that you have that nudge on your heart and you want to know if there is something more for you, if there's a gifting that you need to lean into. And again, you don't have to know everything. We didn't know anything when we got started. We failed a whole lot. And now we lead two of the top teams in the entire company. And we just feel this responsibility and sense of purpose by sharing this with other people. So thank you so much for taking the time to spend with us the last, let me stop this share, the last 45 minutes. And as always, if you have any questions, reach out to us or reach out to the coach that sent you this. But we cannot wait to share this opportunity with you. We think it is going to really change your life the way that it has ours. All right, guys,
Yes.
have an
Bye,
amazing
guys.
day.